CEO of Shaw & Associates. For over 70 years, Shaw & Associates has been your trusted experts for wealth management, tax, accounting, and payroll. We change lives and inspire true wealth, one person, one family, one business at a time. Shaw & Associates is a wealth management investment firm that specializes in taxes, serving as a fiduciary, putting your interests first. You can find more information or schedule an appointment by calling 530-674-1150 or on the web at shawassociatesinc.com. Shaw & Associates is proud to support community radio.
Need to get rid of an old mattress? Recycling Industries has free mattress drop-off. They are conveniently located just off Garden Highway at 140 Epley Drive in Yuba City. Recycling Industries will also pay you for cardboard, aluminum cans, and plastic bottles. More information about Recycling Industries may be found at recyclingindustries.com.
And we are grateful for Dave Shaw's support for Community Radio and for the morning show. If you'd like to support Community Radio, just go to 93qradio.com, hit the donate button. So one of my all-time favorite people, and I get accused of saying that all the time, is Crystal Martin.
No, I buy it. I buy it, yeah.
Thank you, Crystal. I mean it. So we're going to talk about today. Your River Endowment will always bring different people in, and you have a special guest today.
We do.
That received the Merle
Collins
Scholarship Award. So take it away, Crystal.
Well, I'm here today representing the Yuba River Endowment. Thank you so much for letting us come on each month and, really put a focus, especially on ag education.
Yes.
And when these guys started the endowment in late 2019, they wanted to do scholarships. They wanted to do it from the beginning. And it took us about a year to get it off the ground because it's actually a pretty big endeavor when you're giving away the amount of money that they are. And coming up with what those qualifications were going to be and who would be, eligible to apply and stuff. And this last year, they gave away the most money they have ever given away, or this year, over $100,000 in scholarships to help Yuba County youth. And it's kids that are going to high school in Yuba County that were seniors, or anyone who still has a permanent residence in Yuba County, which is this young lady next to me today, who we've been able to follow through her entire journey with the endowment scholarships now. So,
yeah, I met her and I immediately said, oh, I thought she was just going to college, like she was going to be a freshman. So I totally misguessed her age. And she said, no, I got one more semester and I graduate. And I went, what? How did that happen? Right? Mm-hmm. So having said that, she gets a scholarship that can help her further education, and we'll find out why. So Jade, it's your turn. So you got to be excited about this.
I'm very excited. This is a huge opportunity. And like Crystal said, the Water Endowment has been supporting my entire education. I started off, once I graduated from Marysville High School, I went to junior college in Lynn Benton.
Go Indians. Sorry, I had to say that.
In Corvallis, Oregon, where I was on the junior college livestock judging team. And then that opportunity led me to West Texas A&M, where I'm continuing my education. And I've got one more semester until I graduate. And then my goal is to attend vet school, which I'm applying to right now.
Yeah, you kind of shocked me. I thought, how long is vet school? You just did 4 years of school, and vet school is?
It is another 4 years, so it is quite the commitment. But in between vet school, I want to go into large animal, specifically food animal. My dad raised cattle, and so that's what I want to stay committed to, that kind of career. I think the beef and dairy industry are absolutely insane industries where production does so much, and we have a continued decline of food animal vets, and so that's my aspiration, is to get more involved within that. And then specifically with advanced reproductive technologies, I think there's a huge opportunity there that the dairy industry has already kind of tipped their toes into, but I want the beef industry to be able to do the same. It just requires a little bit more research, so that's one of the aspirations I have for my career, because there's a huge opportunity for the advancements of the genetics and for more producers to be able to access those genetics. So that's one thing that I've explored within my undergrad career, and then I want to continue to do with the resources and the degree and expertise that vet school would provide.
When's the last time somebody told you you're brilliant and articulate? Because
Well, I was just screaming it in my head that whole time.
that was we were both going. We're sitting here going, okay, we're done. Just keep talking, Jade. You're good. You're good. This is exciting because so what you're talking about cattle that are raised specifically for food, right?
Correct.
And so you're saying there's changes that are coming down the pike that could really help that industry.
Right. So the beef industry right now, just due to how the beef industry operates, there's not a lot of those reproductive techniques like AI, artificial insemination, IVF embryos, or OPU, which is ovum pickup. But all of these technologies give producers more access to higher quality genetics, meaning that the opportunity is there for the same amount of animals to produce more because of their genetic capabilities. But if producers don't have access to that, and at this point right now, the success rates of conception are still low to the point that it's not as it's not as good of an opportunity for producers to spend the money in reward to what they're getting out of it. And so there's a missing connection there that I think more research can fix in order to fix those conception rates, because the technology just recently came out. And so we're still figuring out how to make them more prolific so that producers are more invested into it. And like I said, the dairy industry has started mostly because they have more access to those animals. But I think as the technologies continue to develop, it'll be a huge opportunity for the beef industry as well.
So you're talking about if you've got, a really good steer, right? You're talking about genetically. Now, if that steer produces a specific breed, whatever you want to call it, whatever comes after, right? Then genetically, if you can get that steer's genes, right, to go down the line, then you end up with healthier cattle. I mean, just in the long run, I would have thought that's already being done.
It is to a certain extent. It's hard to identify a lot of the different things genetically that would help cattle to be more productive. There's certain things like parasite, like some cattle are more resistant to parasites, things like that would lower the inputs that producers would have to put in. But it really comes down to the money that producers have to spend in order to access those technologies is not necessarily worth it if the conception rate's still too low. And so that's what we're trying to figure out, is how to improve those conception rates so that beef producers specifically are more incentivized to use those technologies in the future.
Boy, it really helped you to grow up around cows, didn't it?
Absolutely.
You probably love them.
And you were very successful in your FFA days, and then after that, tell us a little bit about.
So I was actually homeschooled from 1st to 8th grade, and then I started high school at Marysville High School specifically for the ag program. And so all through FFA, I was involved with showing cattle, and that was my SAE. But then I got more involved with the leadership and the speaking opportunities. And one of my favorite speaking competitions was Prepared, which is where you prepare a speech and then deliver it in front of judges, where I focused on lab-grown meat. And that was really, really interesting. And then I also served as officers within the Marysville chapter, and then I went on to be the regional vice president and the sectional president.
I'm not shocked. You aren't shocked, are you, Crystal?
No, I'm telling you what, the FFA students in this area continuously blow us away. And, being able to help watch their journey in just a little way through these scholarships. When the first year, I remember when you went up, and you said was it Oregon or Washington that you went? Oregon. It was a little rough year for her, right? And we kind of saw some changes in what she was looking at doing with her life. And then just seeing her get to Texas, really lock in on this. And this last year when she did her interview, we all just sat back at the end and said, wow. And I kind of scribbled down the name. What was the research paper that you were a part of?
It's a long title. Is the Evaluation of Pregnancy Determination Methods in Early Pregnancies. And I co-authored that with one of my professors, where we worked with a local producer collecting blood samples and then ultrasounding the cows, and then wrote that, and I actually presented it in the undergraduate poster competition at the the Western meeting of the Animal Science Association. And so that was really cool. And then that later got published in the Journal of Animal Science in June.
I know.
You know what? You're going to run out of accomplishments.
Well,
Jade, you've already done so much. What's left, right?
So we have these 2 special scholarship awards, and one is named after Roger Murray, who it came along much after Merle Collins did, but he was responsible for a lot of the water infrastructure in the south part of Yuba County. But when you go back, Merle Collins was actually born in the late 1800s and made his way here through Lassen County, where he eradicated tuberculosis in cows and helped do that as the farm advisor up there. And we thought, wow, wouldn't it be neat if we could put those 2 together in a room and she could tell him what the heck is going on with today's cows, right? But then he came here to Yuba County, where he looked and he had a vision for what water infrastructure could be in the county, and he knew it needed to start with some sort of reservoir, some sort of dam. And so he had the concept with, I'm sure, many other folks, to create the Virginia Ranch Dam, which was then named the Merle Collins Reservoir after him once it was opened. And, obviously is just a huge factor in our water infrastructure here in Yuba County.
That's amazing. So, Jade, I am just absolutely awestruck that, because a lot of people think, well, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to get a degree in something. But with you, it's almost as though you've always known the direction of travel. Has it kind of been like that? Maybe not the details, but always the direction.
Not entirely, actually. When I first graduated, my goal was to go into engineering, and then I was actually going to go to Cal Poly, but with all of the COVID stuff, I ended up in Oregon. But I wanted to do an engineering degree and then go to law school in order to do water infrastructure and deal with water infrastructure issues within California. And then I did engineering for a little bit in Oregon, and then deviated from that towards more research, and I wanted to do research mostly on genetics, and then I actually deviated from that again into vet school because I wanted to stay within the ag industry or the beef industry rather, that I grew up in and I had such a passion for. So I've actually
a loop.
Yeah, I explored some different options, but all throughout it, I deviated paths a little bit, changing my major, but the Water Endowment has stayed so supportive, and this whole community really, in pushing me to continue to go and continue to find something that my heart could set on in order to chase for my career aspirations. And so it's been really amazing to have all of this support to be able to do so. And I'm really looking forward. I'm going to school in Texas right now, but I'm counting down the days that I can come back to Marysville. And so to be able to add to anything, any producers, any help that I can offer within this community.
Well, we talked offline a little bit about that. This is such an incredible community. This is just a great place to live, great place to grow up. And I can remember when I first came up here, I'd talk to young people, and some of them would say, I can't wait to get out of here, right? There was like, I'm going to go. And then others would be, I couldn't wait to come back, right? I wanted to be back in this community. So is there a particular vet school that would be close to this?
Yeah, my goal is to go to UC Davis Vet School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's close. Yeah, you'd be back home.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the goal. I've been working really hard through school to keep my grades right and do all the other things. Vet school applications, you're supposed to have, to be a competitive candidate, you have to have over 1,000 hours of clinical experience. I think it's about 500 hours of research experience, leadership, and then just a general idea of what you want to do and a personal statement attesting to that with your experiences mixed in to show that you would be committed not only to your career but to the greater aspiration of whichever specialty of animal care that you decided to go with.
All right, I got to ask this question. It's got nothing to do with this, okay? But it piqued my interest. I didn't know animals could get tuberculosis. Because I know humans can, and we're always having to get a test, right, to make sure, so we kind of track that with a test. I didn't know animals could get that.
Well, I guess in 1922, that's when he helped eradicate it. It was a pretty big deal. So
That's amazing to me, right? It's like, so if you get an opportunity to come to Davis and do research, where do you want to go from here, Jade? If you could research whatever you wanted to go forward, what would that be?
I want to research more on conception and how that works with the artificial conception that we're kind of creating, whether it's IVF embryos or the OPU technology like I was talking about. But more so, like I said, these technologies just came out, and I think that there's more research to be done in how to improve them in a more production-based aspect instead of just in the lab. And so that's something that I want to do. And I think with my hands-on knowledge of just living in the beef industry and my love for all laboratory and research ideas, I think I'd be a really good asset to kind of combine those two. And so with unlimited grant money, that's definitely what I would do.
All right, last question from me. Is AI going to help in the research and moving forward with that? Is it really beneficial? Because I've heard that many times AI can do things, come up with conclusions more rapidly than we can as humans, especially in the research area. So have you already done some of that? Or?
I haven't had any experience with that, but I don't doubt it. I think a lot of people are using it to assist them with the research process, and I think that could definitely be helpful. I'm not sure if it would necessarily be like the big break that it is for a lot of different research projects, but I don't doubt that it could be useful in certain aspects.
You know, Crystal, you never cease to amaze me. Where do you find these people? You are amazing. This is like I feel like I am talking to an FFA student.
I know.
Because you're very articulate.
And you know what? I've got a pretty easy job with this, though.
Yeah,
right? I mean, we've
wow.
got a lot of great talent to choose from, and you know, each year. The guys have said, look, if we don't have a candidate that's right for one of these special scholarships, then we're not going to give it up. And we sat around the table, and one of our board members said, it's got to be Jade. And everyone else said, yep,
Yeah.
all the way around, right? I mean, it's just such a
I would have
great fit.
voted yes. I'm just saying, if I'd have been there, she'd have got my vote.
Yeah.
Gosh. Jade Lassaga, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got great parents. You've had a great run here and have gone away. So I'm going to be one of the people praying, bring that little girl back here, right? Bring her here so that she can continue the process and help the industry here where we live. This is a great place to be from. I appreciate all the different agencies we have that help. But with the Yuba River Endowment, you guys constantly are feeding into our future with people like Jade. Amazing, just amazing.
Thank you for saying that, because that's exactly at their heart. They'll tell you that our youth is our future here,
Yes.
and trying to get them excited about coming back and bettering this community is what it's all about.
Yeah, and I'm going to allow you to have the very first vet program on radio. Actually, by then, maybe TV. You know, you could. So,
I'd be happy to come back, keep everybody posted.
yeah, let us know. So has she already known what the award was and what she's getting? And
She did, yeah.
Okay.
They all have been notified of the awards before high school got out is when we actually notified everybody, because they've got some scholarship award nights for those kids. And it's about 50-50 now between our high school seniors and our continuing college students. But the scholarships are also for students that were going on to, we've done lineman school, we've done the fire academy. You know, anybody who's going on for anything is what they're interested.
all right, I'm putting in for mine for radio. I don't know if it'd do any good to send me to school, Crystal. I think I'm pretty set in my ways by now. But Jade, thanks so much for being willing to come on. Appreciate your history, your background. I have been told more than once that homeschoolers are ones that are desired at university level because of their focus, and you certainly are a very focused young lady. And then for you to have an opportunity to go here to a high school that you could say, I am local, I did go to high school here, and then move on. I just think that it's almost a shame you didn't go to Yuba College, right? But you moved on to Texas. But we're getting you back. That's the deal.
I'm coming back. I was definitely one of the kids that was like, I can't wait to get out. And I went out and I saw, and I'm like, and I can't wait to come home now.
Well, we got trees here.
Yeah, trees, no wind.
Mountains.
Yeah.
We got rolling hills. It's not flat.
You can't beat it.
Crystal, thanks again. Tell all the gentlemen that we are so appreciative of what they do for kids. And, as far as 93Q is concerned, thank you for coming on every month. And we get an opportunity to see the effects of what these gentlemen have worked hard for.
Thank you, Bob.
This community interview is made possible by Shaw & Associates.
I'm Dave Shaw, President and CEO of Shaw & Associates. For over 70 years, Shaw & Associates has been your trusted experts for